All right, guys, this is your boy like one half Enduro. I'm back at it once again with another. Let's see, let's see. This could be a mic check. It could be LBC. I don't got no music for it. I'm gonna see the arguments. I'm doing this now for fun. Okay, I'm doing this now for fun. I'm not gonna stress myself out. I've already done proven. He's already done proven himself, saying that the '90s don't count. Yes, it does. Different time, different era, all that bullshit. Like, yeah, okay, then whatever, sir. And literally, that's why I said I have a video coming up this Friday talking about the luxury of gaming. It's a luxury. You don't have to take part of it. You're lucky you are part of the 1.00000% on this planet that have this luxury. And again, you can buy what you want to buy. And if you want to boycott Nintendo, go right ahead. I'm not against it. You want to boycott it? Go ahead. You want to tell it to drop the prices? Go right ahead, because again, if they do drop the prices, it doesn't affect me. I'll get a benefit of it. Y'all argue, you go sis boom bar, and if the price drop by $100 or maybe $20 for the games, I'm happy for you, I'm happy for you, and I'll buy the games then. I was gonna buy the games at the other spot, but I'll buy the games then, cause for some reason, y'all just excuse me, as I've said before, I'll say it again. This reality that we're living now could have been avoided if people was going to I don't know, not buy all digital games, supported when they needed the support. Because again, a lot of people didn't want to buy the Wii U because of whatever reasons. All right, and when Nintendo was giving you free online, that you go on there and everything. And I also, like I said, the Miiverse, which was a cool thing. I like the Miiverse, and they were spending millions of dollars a year to police that. Y'all didn't care. So now everything is cost stuff. And what I you don't have a friend in me, because I know this was gonna happen. So what I did is I prepared. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. And here's the thing. You will say, oh, Sony and Microsoft and GTA can be $100, whatever. Here's the thing. Never bought a GTA game in my life. Why? I don't like some of the practices they do. So you know what I don't do? I don't buy it. So if you don't like what Nintendo does practices, don't buy it. I never bought an Xbox. The closest I ever bought an Xbox was 360. And when the Red Ring of Death came around, I'm like, no, no, no. You guys go have that. I'm good. No. I bought PlayStation before, and I have me a PlayStation 5, and yeah, I'm enjoying some of the games I play on it. But again, it's games don't get me wrong. I'm buying games where I think is worthy. I only have 10 games at it right now. There might be there's two more on the list that I would like to get, but I'll take what I could take. And of course, with Nintendo, yes, that is a console of choice, because most of the games I have on that console are exclusives and very fun game. And all right, so hey, again, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Nvidia, nobody have their hands in your wallet and tell you must buy this. Because if you don't buy a Nintendo Switch, you'll die. Or you ain't buy a PlayStation 6, you will die, or 5, or Xbox, whatever, or this game, you'll die. Alright? Maybe because I don't have what is it, misfoma or misfoma, where fear of missing out. I don't have a strong of it. I have a little bit of it, but I don't have a strong of it. If I missed out, like, shoot, that's messed up. Dang, that sucks. And I moved on in my life because I have something called a life. So let us take a look at Mr. Ruin. Nintendo is run by spineless cowards. Really? The same spineless cowards. Okay, like I said, there's new people running Nintendo. That is true. Y'all remember back in 2014 where y'all wanted to shit any water and push a lot of people out, Reggie and everybody. And again, you got new people now, and y'all like it. maybe not. There you go. But anyway, let's take Mr. Spanish Wizard and see what he has to say.
My fake wizard. Today I am going to discuss the recent controversy featuring the Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo, the company, has chosen to make the process of migrating from Switch 1 to Switch 2 confusing, expensive, and borderline offensive.
What? Wait, what? Confusing, offensive, borderline offensive. Just get the Switch and then you just pass it to the internet like they've been doing for the last 4 consoles. From the Wii to the Wii U. Well, 3 consoles. From the Wii to the Wii U, for the Wii U to the Switch. If you want to. Technically speaking, I started fresh with the Wii to the Wii U, but again, like I said, it'll make it's not that confusing. I bet you it's not. But anyway.
I'm going to attempt to address every piece of this controversy and do so without getting emotionally animated. I believe that once I present all of the information, you may agree with me and my claims that not only is Nintendo managed by spineless cowards, but also that Nintendo's strategies for the Switch 2 are evidence of corporatism that is anti-consumer. If, by the end of this video, I have brought
I am not a consumer. I'm a customer. So let that research there. And anybody who comes here from his ilk or whatever, consumer is a person who basically consumes stuff. I don't consume everything Nintendo does. I look at stuff and I buy it. Nintendo is not in my house. They got a gun to my telling me you got to buy a Nintendo game or system, whatever. I bought every one of them. Well, no, I ain't bought every one of them. I bought them after the fact when I was younger, but I bought a GameCube, bought a Wii. Well, no, I didn't buy a GameCube. That was handed. That was gifted to me. Bought a Wii U, bought a Switch, and I'm gonna basically buy a Switch too. But I've also bought handhelds, so all the handhelds really to a degree, except for those when I was a kid, and also I bought a PlayStation Vita. Still gotta get that fixed because that's so crazy that little thing dropped from a 2-foot stand and it's still the screen messed up. That sucks. Vita. I bought a Vita. I bought a Dreamcast. Bought a Sega. You know, have other stuff. But anyway, yes. But I'm gonna try also not to get emotional too because at this point I just don't care no more.
You any value, consider subscribing to this channel if you are not already subscribed.
I
would
was.
also say if you have.
I was, but then, you know, after the last video you did, no, I'm not subscribing.
Have a friend or two who need to hear about how Nintendo is trying to screw over their customers.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'm here to, you want to sit and tell screw over the customers? I'm here. Here's my answer to this again. If you can't beat this argument that I'm going to say right now, if you don't like it, don't buy it, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't think you could. I don't think you could stop that. That's the ultimate, sir. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Simple, easy. Move on with your life. But let's see.
You might do well to share this video with them too. Thank you, and let's begin.
Shoot my way.
Behold the magic of the Wizard's Brew. Organic
magic.
Nintendo held a 1-hour live stream where they showcased the Nintendo Switch. They showed off all the new features, add-ons, and announced a bunch of new games. And for the most part, everyone was pretty happy. Most of the internet was content with these announcements. But Nintendo sneakily refrained from announcing the price of the console, accessories, and games.
Okay, and I'll give you the price. I give you that. Point to you. Still ain't beat my ultimate argument, oh, if you don't like it, don't buy it, but point to you on that.
Instead, opting to have that information published through the proxy of the Access Media, instead of announcing it themselves. To date, as of right now, at the time of recording this, Nintendo has just finally responded to the pricing situation. They have hidden behind the Access Media journalists until this point, where Doug Bowser gave an interview to CNBC, where he confirmed that the price of the console was not with the consideration of tariffs. They believe the price of the console should be worth more than the Switch 1, and that the price of the games should be elevated based on the game itself.
Okay, before he continues, I'll state this again. I said back when the Switch 2 first got the first little reveal. And also in the endcast before the Switch 2 was coming out, what did I say? I said $399 will be all right for trying to get the families in there, but if I have to be honest, the Switch 2 gonna be $450. Now, tariffs and all that stuff aside, it might be $470, $475, we'll see, $500, people say. And I would say, yeah, like I said, I could wait. I ain't gonna need to rush to pay 500, but again, whatever. I don't need to rush to go buy this new Mario Kart or this Donkey Kong. It's gonna sell out, good for it, sell out, I could wait. I could wait. I don't need to get it there because again, I have hundreds of games to still play on my Switch 1. Nevertheless, hell, I just bought a new Switch game. I just bought a new Switch 1 game just today. Today, I bought a Switch 1 game. So there's still games out there. 10,000 games. You can still play. All right. And I'll be honest as well before going forward. Most, about maybe 50% on the games that I bought for my Switch 1 was not $60. Some was 70. I think the highest I ever bought was an 80. And I'm not talking special deluxe like Anderson was saying in the podcast. It wasn't special deliveries because Zelda and stuff like that. It'll be like $90 or $100 or something like that. No, so it will be something like that. But just saying for the fact of the moment.
This is important to note. The tariffs had nothing to do with the price, and these decisions were made well ahead of time.
Yeah,
but
like I said,
their decisions to not be transparent as to why has only led to more confusion and outrage, rightfully so.
I mean, if I guessed the right price, I figured out what it was. So, boo-ha-ha. Again, I agree with you that they didn't share the price that way. I respect you on that. That they could have put it in there. They have done so in the past. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. Now you go to their website, you get all kind of information. That's all I can tell you.
From the public. Nintendo has chosen to charge considerably high prices on the console, yes, but almost more importantly, the games. Switch 2 games are clocking in arbitrarily at $80 in the United States, and in many other countries, games cost even more. Nintendo's failure to address the public themselves is cowardice. They are choosing to charge prices for games that will send ripple effects across the entire industry, and it will
Really, when the industry was pissing on them all the time until the Switch 1 took off, remember the Wii U? Nintendo should die, Nintendo should be third party. Excuse me. That's what all the gamers were saying. That's what all the journalists were saying. Nintendo should go away. When you guys remember, I've done the videos of it. Remember all the IGN, remember all the Polygons, remember all the Kotakus who was telling people how to emulate games that just came out, brand new games that just came out, show how to rip off Nintendo. So yeah. Basically, maybe if you didn't do that shit, maybe they wouldn't give us the middle finger. But you know what? They did. What? Again, don't buy the games. Don't buy the console. Still ain't beat that argument yet.
Impact everyone, whether you're a Nintendo gamer or not. We'll talk about that more in a minute. And even so, they don't have the courage to tell us to our faces what they're doing or why. They are not being transparent, even after this interview with Doug Bowser. He is not giving nearly enough information that would put everyone's minds at ease.
That's not his flipping. I know people will say it's his job. Not really. Not really. They gave you you go to the website, you see the price, you make a decision. You want to buy it and you don't want to buy it. You know, other companies do this too, right? And I guarantee companies that you like. So stop it. It's up to us to be a customer, not a consumer. Let's not consume everything. That's why I say you could be. I'm for anti-consumer because I want people to make decisions out there. If I'm a company, I want you to be a consumer because all you do is consume. That's why a lot of people. That's why. What do you think Apple has? You think Apple loves it? They love their as people call them fanboys. They're people who like Apple for everything. I'll tell you right now, I don't like Android because Android is better than Apple. No, I just like an open system. I don't like to be locked down that much. For my phones or stuff like that. For games, here's what I want. Give me a game, I buy it. I take said game cartridge or disc, whatever, put it in my console. It turns on, game starts to play. Imagine something like that when I was young. That's what it was. We used to get a little Sega, Sony, all that stuff, and gameplay right there. Now we gotta go through menus and stuff. I don't like that again for Nintendo as well too. I like to go through menus. Let me just play the damn game. It put it in late automatic. Have an option in there to say it automatically goes to the game that I want to play. And if you're gonna have the downloads, do the downloads. Fuck it, you know. But anyway, yeah.
They're not defending their choice to charge more money. They're hiding. I have lost tremendous respect for them on this point. They hid the price from their live streams. They themselves haven't addressed it much at all. And they used the journalist as punching bags, which I can only expect means they're hoping we'll all just shut up and get over it. Obviously not. Nintendo doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt anymore. This is sneaky, and it's disingenuous. The console.
Sure.
When we look at the console itself and its price point of $450 for the base model, let's also understand that this doesn't come with any games. So it's $450, and then you need to spend $80 to also get Mario Kart World. Now, some of you might be saying, Wizard, just get the Mario Kart bundle. And to that, I would say, that's going to sell out first. Those bundles are...
Oh, just like you did last time. I don't want a bundle. Now, be understanding, I'm not that whatever. I want the game where I could buy the game and just have it. Oh, come on. Seriously? I want a console, so I could have it. Because, again, the issue that is, remember, Wizard, all y'all push for digital games, and now you are going to have games you don't have it. And, yes, we'll get to the key card situation and everything like that. Because even this afternoon, my colleague Anderson was talking about what they're doing in Japan, and it could be happening in America too. And I don't care if, again, it's Sweden. If you guys are going to have Sweden 1 and 2, and it's a key card, I'm not buying it. I'll buy the originals. I'll buy the originals. Sweden 1 and 2 and Switch 1. I don't care for no super graphic. It's an old style game. I played your 100 Heroes, and I liked it and beat it. And I still need to do the two. I still got one more DLC supposed to come out. I would like, but I need to fight off the other two of DLC. But I like the game for what it was. So don't really care for that. What bump you would give me? I don't care.
Going to be hard to acquire, meaning that most consumers.
That's a customer. He said, that's a customer. Oh, you give me this game, but this you give me an option. Option 1, I don't have to buy the game. Option 2, Sweden 1 and 2 is the full games on a cartridge. Option 3, you can get better resolution, better frame rate, but it's a key card. I'll go with that's a customer. So as a customer, I choose option 1 if I didn't like it. But for me, myself, I choose option 2. Nintendo Switch 1, I'll go with that. They have little frame rate. I don't care for me because, again, the style of game, how it goes, that works for me.
Mario Kart World. Now, some of you might be saying, Wizard, just get the Mario Kart bundle. And to that, I would say, that's going to sell out first. Those bundles are going to be hard to acquire, meaning that most consumers need to be prepping for a $530 transaction.
And also, unless you have the the Nintendo part, which is got pushed back because of the tariffs. But if you wanted the Nintendo not Nintendo online, try online to get the first, so you could go and buy the game and the system. You get a Mario Kart bundle, you could do it that way. So I can let you go on that.
Not a $450 one, and that doesn't include tax either. The pricing of the console itself is not great. Nintendo was previously considered to be price sensitive for families, as they mostly focus on making family games. A Switch one today.
I like how they say. I like how they say that because here's the thing. Though, but I'll let it go because I'm gonna ask a question to families, right? Okay.
including Super Mario Wonder, retails for $350. That's $100 less and includes one of the biggest titles on the Switch console. A
One of, yeah.
$450 console price might not be out of the question for someone like me.
And the fam and did Nintendo start selling those consoles? They didn't. Well, golly geese willikers, why don't people just go out and buy that, Wizard? And yes, you're right. Let me go back because you said something
For $350. That's $100 less and includes one of the biggest titles on the Switch console. A $450 console price might not be out of the question for someone like me or you, perhaps.
Yeah.
But there are going to be lots and lots of families all over the world who are priced out of this. And really,
there's a lot of families that's already been priced out of the first Switch and the first PlayStation 6 and Xbox One. So what are you talking about? There's by definition, as I said before, there's 99.9% of 9999% of families that got priced out of that shit around the world if you're using the world as a metric. So no. Sorry, missed me with that one. We are the privileged ones, unless we could do that. Again, and you can't say stuff in America because I was gonna say, yeah, but you all quick to buy the newest iPhone. iPhone this, iPhone that, iPhone this, or Samsung. Samsung phone this, new Android. Like, I ain't with that. Katie has I think she has an S20. I have an S23. Yeah, I'm good. It'll be a while before. Like, I had my Asus phone. I wish they kept on doing, but these companies now, the air companies want you to be in a special part of the stuff, which I hate. The wireless communication companies. So I had to give up my Asus, which I hated. I hated that I gave that up. But that was a good phone. That was one of the best phones I ever had. My Asus Zenfone 8. Oh, I loved it. But yeah. Be a customer.
Here's why. If the price of the console isn't enough to put them out of the market altogether, the price of the games is the final nail. $80
Really?
games is a lot of money in an economic time where people are struggling to pay their bills. But focus.
Well, pay your bills before you go play, have fun. No shit, Sherlock. That's the simplest thing to do. What are you talking about? Pay your bills. Pay your bills first. Exactly. That's what I do as a responsible adult. What the actual F is that?
More on the console for right now. This system is launching with an LCD screen, which is what the base Switch launched with back in 2017.
Not the same style specs LCD Switch. Stop it. It's not. It's a different beast altogether. Jeez Louise, I wish y'all I love how y'all are like literally straw just putting the straws of that. It's a different type of LCD. It's not the same. And it's 2 times bigger. Well, not 2 times bigger. Wrong for saying that. I am wrong for saying that. It's not 2 times bigger. It's 2 inches bigger. So I have an OLED Switch. It's bigger than an OLED Switch. So whoopee, great, whatever. And let's be honest, right now, there's gonna be an OLED version of that console or micro LED. Gonna be of that screen 2 or 3 years from now. So get ready or don't buy it. Just like a PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 5 Pro. I ain't buying a PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm not against people who want to go buy a PlayStation 5 Pro. Again, I was never against that. Everyone's like, oh man, the PlayStation's getting greedy. Really? Again, the only thing I ever argued about was to get the, what you call it? The, shoot, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, to get the, what do you call that thing? The stand and stuff like that. And that's what I call on Nintendo too. Yeah, I mean that welcome tour thing. Nintendo, come on, that's BS. I'm not paying no money for that. I'll tell you that right now. And that's my choice to not pay for that BS. Very simple, ain't it? I have a choice to buy it or not buy it, and because I think that price is outrageous. I did something simple. I made it in my mind not to buy it. God forbid that we have brains to say, hey, let's not get caught up in stupid shit like this. Just saying. And I apologize for all the clicking noise here. I'm at work. I'm doing this. I'm at a thing called a job, where I gotta get money to buy stuff, for my family and stuff. And again, this job is gonna help me buy maybe some Switch games. It's been buying me Switch games for a long time. Wait, nope, need to fix that. I mean, hell, being an architect is not an easy job, but here I am.
That's almost 10 years ago. They are launching the Switch 2 in 2025 with over 10-year-old technology inside of it, which is fundamentally promising.
It's not 10-year old. Oh my goodness. Yes, I know they use stuff that they use the best version of what it is. What in the world is going on here? Okay, this is messing me up. Again, I didn't spline it. Anyway, yeah, yes, it's not the same LCD as the one that came out 2017. LCDs have changed a lot. So stop it. Between 2017 and now, I've bought one phone. My phone has changed, like I said, from that, and it's that. So what are you talking about, man? It's just a phone. It's just a screen. You get okay. Start over. So it's a different screen. It's not the same screen. So stop it.
That they are going to release a Super Switch 2 in 2 or 3 years, which
Exactly.
does have an OLED screen. We know that OLED screens are possible. This plays into that trust factor. If we already know that they're holding out on at least the screen here, what else are they holding out on? Because I can tell.
Well, let me help you out with something again, too. They could use the same OLED screen from the Switch OLED. You're right. They could have used that. They could use that screen since they have it there. It's already $350 for that game. So let me see. The Switch OLED was $350. So they could have used the same screen. Now you wouldn't get an 8-inch screen, which is better than the what do you call it, the Steam Deck, but I'm talking about like size wise. But yeah, they could have done that. But 8 inches, 8 inches. They wanted something that had a bigger form factor, because one of the problems they had was a lot of people had, and I am no exception from this. Sometimes the Joy-Cons are very small and stuff. I had fun with it, but be honest, I'm gonna use third-party stuff. Maybe the Nico Owl stuff, like whatever, to do the control stuff.
It's more than just the hardware here that Nintendo is holding back on. This isn't the only example. The accessories and gimmicks. On that console that costs $500 is a C button. This button connects to the Nintendo exclusive game chat feature, where you can connect with friends. In some capacity, it works like Discord, but to be used over the Nintendo servers, which have never really been reliable. This is a feature no one asked for, and no one really trusts that it will be effective or...
Hold up. People have been asking for it. You're wrong on that part. They've been asking for something like this. Now, it went beyond what people asked for. Is it going to be great? Is it going to be the best thing for sliced bread? No, but it's there. And Nintendo did what they always do. They Nintendorized it, meaning they do it their own way. You like it, you like it. You don't like it, like it. I like Miiverse. Miiverse was fun. I used to see all kind of stuff. I like seeing the art. I like just to see what people used to talk about. And the connection was very good, but again, people liked something and then they throw it away. So again, what can I say?
even useful. The featurette of this being implemented to see the screens of your friends while playing Mario Kart is exceptionally poor quality. It's running on a single-digit frame rate, and this is
Yep.
just an inconsequential chat feature which starts off as a direct button on the console's remotes.
Yes, because you see, you have to set up Discord and you got to make sure you get your screens working. And if there's an update, God forbid, you got to get stuff straightened out. And again, all I got to do is press one button, a chat, bada bing, bada boom. Like I said on the Ironcast last night with the guys, I said, would I use the feature? Yes. Would I use the camera? No. But like, hey, what's going on? Hey, what you playing? Hey, let's play this game. Hey, let's do this. Hey, you going here? Blah blah blah. That's convenience. Just like I said back in the day, give me a game, and I can put it into the console, and I can play the set game. I don't need no television. I don't need no TV. I just want to play the damn game. Again, that's what I like.
The worst part about this is that to use it and connect with your friends will require an online subscription to the Nintendo Online service. And with the
Yes.
information that we have right now, which is very little because Nintendo won't address this all with the public, this means that if you're not subscribed, if you're not paying monthly, this button becomes useless to you. Now, there will be lots of
Okay.
people saying that there are ways to get NSO for free for some time. There's promotional materials, promotional time periods, or there are
I don't. Okay, my argument to that is I don't care, but oh shit, I don't care. But also, yeah, you think you're not doing stuff for PlayStation? I mean, I don't have PlayStation Online, and I can't do certain things on that too. Don't care. I choose not to do it because I don't see it needs it. I play more games on my Switch, so I would say yes, I will use that. But again, we have Nintendo Online because we have the family, and with all the people in the family, it works out to a little bit of money to us, really. But compared to Sony and Microsoft, but whatever. All right.
family plans. That means nothing. This is still a button that is tied to a monthly subscription that will become obsolete when your promotional time ends or if you stop charging your credit card. We're not off to a good start with the accessories. And
You could just pay the $70 a year and you're done. That's it. Again, with all the people we have here, we could all do like $5 for a year, which is not bad. Or we like what we do right now. We round robin it. One year somebody pays 80, another person pay 80, another person pay 80, another person pay 80. By the end, everybody put in their money with what it is, and we all good. Sir, try that.
it doesn't get much better. The camera and microphone gimmicks that they are pushing are not inspiring in the slightest. The idea of using a camera with your games is reminiscent of the Xbox Kinect, and that didn't end very well for Microsoft.
It didn't end nicely because of what? The same reason why a lot of things is gamers got persnickety and then like certain things and then throw in innovation. You want to play games, play the games, but I think there could have been some stuff that could be done with like the camera that was going to be all right. I was never against it, that's for sure. But again, what am I saying? These are the gamers now who think they know best now. I think the Connect was something that was good, but we could have got some great games out of it. Same thing with the PlayStation toy, but oh well. I mean, some of my favorite games of all time is on the Switch and the Wii U. And the reason I say no, not Switch and Wii U, I mean of Wii U and the Wii. Playing with that controller, the Wii remote in first person shooters, oh awesome. Loved it, enjoyed it. Excuse me. It was awesome playing Metroid. It was also playing Call of Duty. It was also playing Conduit. And then taking up a next level, Zelda Skyward Sword. And of course, one of my favorite sleeper hits that people really didn't buy, but it was a good game, even though I worked on it, music-wise and tangentially, was Red Steel 2. I love that game. Love that game, love that game, love that game. I literally bought copies that I gave for other people, and they loved it too. But now you got the VR games trying to emulate it, and even emulate it more shittier than what they had. So whatever.
Microsoft and all. The idea of plugging a webcam into your Switch is not a selling feature when the most asked for items were FPS and console power to run resource-heavy games. This is a time waste.
No, it's a time waster. Okay, but people want that. This is Nintendo. They always do something different. So what you expect? See, that's why y'all want PlayStation, Xbox, and that's where you gain the same thing over and over again. It's just derivative of each other. Now I said again, the Switch 1, 2 were gonna be derivative of Switch 1. Duh. It was going to be that. No ifs, ands about that.
That gamers don't want or need. Then we look at the pricing on the rest of the accessories. The television dock set is over $100. The Pro controllers are $80.
Well, that makes sense. The Pro controller is $80. That's within line with any other console stuff anyway. It's not 70, okay, whatever, but it's $10 more. But who? They're gonna come out with controllers that's better than just as good as that. Not the same battery life, but at least just as good. And you buy that. Just wait. Relax.
The Joy-Cons
The dock makes sense, and that is proprietary, and that one, yeah, I get that, and that's, yeah. Hope you don't F up your dock.
for the Switch 2 are jumping up to $89.99. These are expensive purchases, and they were expensive before. Yes, gaming is expensive, but these prices are not for kids. Like, the items themselves are not the kind of thing that price-sensitive parents are going to be comfortable putting into the hands.
Oh, stop it! Again, my mom bought a back in the day to buy a $200 console that my aunt, I should say, not my mom. My aunt bought a $200 console that you buy $80, $90 games, and they're still playable all to this day. Well, what kind of kid was I when I was young? I was a nice kid. I wasn't an asswipe, sir. I'm an asshole in real life, but shut up.
Hands of their children. And also, yes, the $450 console purchase does come with the charging dock and Joy-Cons, but replacing those or getting more of them looks incredibly pricey. And now that we're really getting into the price, let's talk about the games. And there's a lot to talk about. Mario Kart World is being sold digitally for $80 in the United States. I'm making the distinction of digital for a reason. After that Switch Direct and all the pricing information started to come out, there was a big upset about digital games being priced at $80 and physical games being priced at $90.
You're right, and that sucks. Wait, hold up. I don't live in the EU, so I don't care. Right now on their website, it says $79.99. That's on the website. They don't say physical. They don't say digital. They just say that. Okay. Now I know Nintendo. They didn't change the prices for any of those stuff either. So we'll see. But don't really care again. But that's you thinking that. So again, and if it comes $90, again, don't buy the console. Again, still ain't beat my argument yet. You say don't buy the console. I agree with you. Don't buy the console, people. That's it. You don't buy it. I agree with you, but your reasons for all the other stuff, I don't agree with you. But I'm just saying the main goal, like I said, is.
And it wasn't even $80 and $90 exclusively. It was that all Switch 2 games were going to be $10 more for the physical editions. This is really important to get into because lots of Nintendo defenders are addressing this point as if it's YouTubers or content creators putting out misinformation. It's not.
Some of it is.
Nor did this pricing come from publications and journalists alone, even though they have made the same claims as well.
Some of them is.
It was Nintendo themselves who posted this $10 difference. On Nintendo's website for Spain, you can see here.
You're not that, but I would say the N-word for you, homie. I'm talking about you say, like I said, that's Spain. Good for Spain. They have different they have different things that we don't have. Again, they have a value-added tax. We don't have that in America. We have a different kind of tax system, which is still, but the value-added tax is bullshit in my situation too, in Europe. But people, again, vote for whatever. No, on Nintendo's American site, it's $79.99. Could it be different in the future? Yes. Well, let's wait and see. That's all. I'm in America, so I'm gonna go with what the American price is right now, and it just says that. Could it be 79 for physical when it gets there? It could do that, dude. Could. It could do that. Some companies, some gaming stores say they might still rock the price down a little low to get people in the stores to buy stuff anyway. I mean, I did not buy. There was a PlayStation game. I did not buy. Let me look this up, and I want to make sure I am correct because I know I did not buy it for that price. Let me see the price of that game. I want to put it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just see. Look at that. If you go to Amazon.com, you get it for a cool price. And again, most of the games I bought for PlayStation, excuse me, I didn't play. I think only Vision of Mana. No, I got it for like I think $50 off as well too. So yeah, so you don't know what companies will sell certain things for certain prices. That's all I'm saying. You don't know.
That the games are listed with a €10 increase over their digital counterparts.
That's
this
euro.
is
That's
Nintendo's
Spain.
site. In Spain, allegedly, according to Nintendo, their games will cost €10 more to get the physical editions. It is not our fault for being concerned about this. It is not
really
our fault for getting outraged here in the States about this.
Not really.
Because if it happens in Spain, why isn't it happening in the United States? What are the circumstances that games should be?
There's certain things that happen in Europe that don't happen in America. We get special editions, they don't get it. They got special editions that we don't get. What do you say about that? Japan gets special editions, none of the other regions get. Go figure. Stop it. Get some help.
$10 more in price when they're physical copies. And if they're not going to be $90 here in the United States, why isn't Nintendo addressing this themselves? These are very important questions. This ties to that.
Go to the website, you see the price. You have a device in your hand, bro. I'm using this device right now to record. You go to Nintendo.com, switch to, pick up Mario Kart. It says $79.99. That's what it says. And it has asterisks behind it said it might be suggested, retail suggested might be different price. That's what it says. If they do like you see right here with the both symbols, then you're 100% correct. Let me see. Let me go to Nintendo.com. Now I can't share this because I notice when I do go to the thing mode, letter mode, it messes up and it sticks into vertical mode a lot. All right, let me see here. Switch. $49.99 bundle for Mario Kart. Everybody can see everything. I'm not buying the wheel. I never bought the wheel. I never bought the thing, so I'm not doing that. So I'm literally looking on it as of right now. Available June 5th. Start and free roam. Play together. All that stuff. MSRP $79.99 in America. It has asterisks on the back, 3 asterisks. What are those 3 asterisks? Manufacturer suggested retail price. Actual price may vary in stores. May vary. It could be cheaper, could be higher. We don't know. There you go.
Transparency discussion. Why is Nintendo leaving us in the dark? This isn't some rumor
Really?
here.
That's
These
dark?
prices are posted on an official Nintendo website.
What the? Brother, you can't say all. Well, you answer your own question. Like I just did. I went to an official Nintendo website. What? Hey, what did this thing call? Maybe if I go to the website on Amazon, I'll find a price. How much for a tire from Discount Tire? Maybe a Michelin 4-star egg cup Euro pack. Maybe if I go to Michelin, I'll find out. Maybe I go to Discount Tire, I'll find out. But I go to the website and find out if I don't want to drive there. You literally have an instant portal in our hands. We talk on every single talking video picture every single day. So wow.
Please explain them to us. But okay, let's
Explain
continue with
what?
the assumption that all Switch
Into
2
voice.
games will range between $70 and $80. Range here is important. Why is the Donkey Kong Bonanza game $10 less than Mario Kart? Is it shorter in duration? Is there less content? What's the reason behind it? Or flip it around. Why
They did answer that question in the developers Q&A, but which is basically depending on how much people develop it, the time of development, all that stuff. So, and that makes logical sense. Again, you don't have to buy this. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to buy it.
is Mario Kart $10 more than a mainline Donkey Kong title? This is confusing and doesn't make any sense.
Because you are dealing with more online infrastructure, way more online infrastructure than this. Now, I guarantee you that camera, which is I would say it's overpriced, but I ain't got the camera in front of me and I ain't see the specs and I ain't gonna buy it either. So I'll wait for somebody to break it down and I see what's going on. But the processing of having that thing, even though it's at 5 frames per second, to still having that you could instantly press a button and you could link up and chat and have a camera and everything seamlessly through it. No problem. Again, depends on the internet as well too. That's another thing. That's a lot of work to do that, sir. God forbid they did the work and you don't want it. Sorry.
Are you just giving prices to things randomly, or is there logic here? As a customer of these things, I'd like to understand why things are priced the way that they are.
I just explained that for this one, and they explained it a little bit, but again, I know you're angry at them, so you're not gonna really look for much. Look, you say you ain't gonna buy it, you're gonna emulate. So you really don't, you shouldn't have to worry about nothing. You're not buying it, right? So you're good. You're great. You are doing very fine, my friend.
Furthering this pricing confusion, let's look at the Switch 2 editions of Switch 1 games. Nintendo is re-releasing games like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Kirby Forgotten Land in a new Switch 2 box, and including new add-ons in the form of the Switch 2 upgrade pack. Bear with me here, because this is a lot to go over, and they've done a horrible job on explaining
Not
this.
really.
Let's look at Breath of the
It's
Wild
simple.
here. This game came out in 2017 and has been played for hundreds of hours by hundreds of thousands of people. Last
Correct.
we saw, Breath of the Wild has accumulated over 32 million unit sales. That's a lot of sales. Nintendo is re-releasing this game for the Switch 2 with a price tag of $70. The game is almost 10 years old, and anyone who is going to play it probably already has. $70 is a lot of money for this old game.
Probably not. 150 million, 150 million Switches, and 32 million people bought them. Maybe they wanted to buy it now. You don't know. And again, maybe people want to buy it because again, oh man, I missed out on that game. I should have bought that game and then whatever. Star Fox, GS, F-Zero, Kirby Air Riders again, the original, or some Zelda games in the past that people want now. Come on, bruh. Sorry. That's a reality. You can't knock that to the side, but whatever.
And if we read the fine print here, we'll see that inside of this Switch 2 box is a Switch 1 game and the Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade pack. What does that mean? And why isn't Nintendo explaining it to us better? Because what that looks like it means is when you buy one of these re-released games, you're getting a Switch 1 cartridge and a download code for the Switch 2 upgrade pack. Nowhere online do we see any information actually confirming what's in the box. So even with this fine print on the front, it's
They kind of sit in the treehouse, but okay, if you want to go technical, I give you that, sir. I give you that. But again, people like us will figure it out. Families, people who are gonna buy this thing, they'll get the information when trust. How much you want to bet they'll get the information by the time the Switch 2 get released? I'll bet you they would. But anyway, I digress from that.
Kind of meaningless. If this is true and these old games are just old games with DLC codes inside, GameStop is cooked. The used marketplace will suffer greatly, but more so, the reason to
Do not act like you give a dang about GameStop, brother. Don't do that. Don't you lie like that. Why you lying, Craig? Don't you lie.
buy physical copies at all will be a moot point. You may own the plastic box, but you're not actually getting the full physical copy of your games. It's for reasons like this, plus the $10 increase to physical editions we're seeing in Spain, that I have to wonder, is Nintendo trying to kill physical editions altogether? There's one more piece of this to back up the physical edition market being affected idea.
And let's be honest, you guys killed it before. Before Nintendo killed it, they're the one they're the ones who stick in the physical games longer than any other console. So what are you talking about?
Game key cards. Nintendo is making a big deal lately about how some Switch 2 games are going to come with this disclaimer.
Yeah, it's gonna be a disclaimer on it. It's on there. Read it. You'll be good. It's mostly third parties. So far, what I've seen, Nintendo needs to do is not doing it, but I'll wait and see. Their games are not big enough for that. Donkey Kong is not big enough. I think it was what 15 gigabytes or so for Donkey Kong Bonanza and 23 gigabytes for Mario Kart World. It can fit in the cart that they proprietary having, so you don't have to do nothing. Now, of course, with Nintendo with the Mario Kart, they're gonna be updates and all kind of shit, and there might be a pack update for Donkey Kong Bonanza because again, to be honest. When you're in the real world, what you saw in the Treehouse Live, that it doesn't really bother me, but I get it still. So hey, but when you're looking at the map goes to like sub 10 frames per second. So hopefully they fix that shit and they put in a patch or something, whatever. Cause they're making the custom right now. It's like 2 months from now. They're making the games right now. They're pressing them. So hope they fix that shit for real.
On the box that what you're buying is a game key card, that inside the box is not a complete edition of your game, but instead the full game will be downloaded via internet required. I know this isn't new, and that there are a handful of games that work like this on the Switch 1, but for Nintendo of your game, but instead the full game will be downloaded via internet required. I know this isn't new, and that there are a handful of games that work like this on the Switch 1, but for
not none of Nintendo's games does that. But okay, and third parties, which we know they're gonna do. Okay, and let's not forget also about learning this thing. When I learned about it and looked for more information and found it and got Nintendo did kind of like the development chat that they had with Q&A and stuff, answer the questions. I was like, okay, I understand it now. And let's not forget, Sony and Microsoft been doing this since 2012. Since the fourth generation. Again, what you want me to say?
Nintendo to be making such a fuss about it right now, it makes me question the implications behind it. Why is this so?
Oh, so wait, you want them to not make a fuss about it now and then later? Damn if you do, damn if you don't. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. I swear. Oh crap. Wrong color. Wrong color. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. You can't make it. Like I said, I'm not even gonna get angry at this because I ain't nothing to get angry about. It is what it is.
Important to advertise. Why focus on explaining this to us, but not giving us the full picture on game pricing or the true valuation of the upgrade packs? Why spend so much time explaining the Switch 2 camera and...
Well, if you want to do upgrade packs to a certain degree, there are some answers in the Q&A questions and also in the thing. But again, I'll think Nintendo will address that later on. You have 2 months before you make your decision to buy this console. Again, don't buy. Guys, do not buy the console, okay? You still ain't defeat my question, sir.
C button that no one wants instead of telling us about the things that actually matter. This focus on the
You might not want a C button, but I could see a lot of people gonna use that C button. So no, no. There's some games I don't like, but I know a lot of people like those games, so I don't be a dick like some people be on YouTubers be. Just saying.
game key card makes me think that pretty soon we're going to see mainline IP games like Zelda or Pokemon perhaps as
Could be.
game key cards, internet
And it
required
could
titles.
be.
It's like
And it could be, but we already have that on the other consoles, so I don't know. Maybe if we all did not push the digital game stuff back in the 2010s and up, we would have had more physical games. Just saying.
they're prepping us. It's also insane when you consider that Cyberpunk 2077, which is massive, coming in around 64 gigabytes, can possibly fit on a cartridge, but Bravely Default can't. Who
That's between the third parties.
is telling the truth here? My friends, this brings us into discussing the ramifications of charging $80 for Switch 2 games.
Go ahead.
Clearly, this whole pricing thing is a mess, but the concept of charging $80 for a video game, at least outright, is baffling. There's actually a huge difference between something like Kirby and the Forgotten Lands versus Mario Kart World. See,
Okay.
Kirby is the best-selling Kirby game in the franchise, and what you're getting in the $80 Switch 2 edition is the full original Switch game, but also allegedly $20 worth of new content. With that game, it's like getting the season pass with it, so it's a little different, and I wish they did a better job of explaining that. But at least I can understand it. If you don't own Kirby already, you can buy this version, which comes with a season pass DLC. That's fine. Mario Kart World, on the other hand, doesn't get off so easily. The market price for AAA games is $69.99. That's already too much in the eyes of most gamers, Nintendo or not. But
What? Who said that was set in stone, my homie? It was never set in stone. As again, you might bring this up a little later on because you pissed on it when I did it. It wasn't set in stone in the 80s. It wasn't set in stone in the 90s. It is set in stone in the 2000s. It got more set in stone in the 2010s to now. But it will change.
that's a lot of money, especially when you don't know if you're going to enjoy the thing you're buying.
Then don't buy it. There's less than 1% of my catalog on my Nintendo Switch. I have a lot of games, as I always said, on my Nintendo Switch that I wish I didn't buy. Some are digital, and I think one or two is physical. Majority of the stuff that I know what I did before I bought it, and I wanted to buy it. Now, one of those games was Quarter Princess. I love the game on the 3DS, so I was just being nice, trying to support the company, and then bringing it to Switch. I was like, oh yes, that would be so awesome. And then come to find out, it's inferior to the damn 3DS. Even though 3DS has frame rate issues and stuff, at least I could fight the way I want to fight and level up the character the way I want to level up my damn character. I don't like that straight ass way of you locking me out from doing what I want and fulfill my playstyle of fighting. I hate that.
For Nintendo to choose now to increase prices on baseline games, not including DLC like Kirby does, it makes me say, you're killing the video game market. If people are already
Really? You think Nintendo's killing the video game market? Ubisoft, EA? No, they didn't. They don't do none of that. No. Okay. Activision back in the day before Activision got bought out. No, didn't do it. Oh, okay. All right. They didn't kill nothing. Nah, they didn't kill nothing. No. It's all good.
comfortable and unhappy paying $70 for games, raising it up to $79.99 is going to deter lots and lots of people from buying those games altogether. I don't care that it's Mario Kart. This is not consumer friendly. But see, it's just Mario Kart
correct.
today.
It's
What
not
about
consumer friendly.
tomorrow? Will Pokemon Legends ZA be $80? Will Metroid?
Could be.
Can you trust that they won't be? Nintendo is still hiding right now, and even more interesting here, Switch 1 games are almost all still $59.99. Like right now. Most of the Switch 1 games are priced at $60. It's still expensive, but there's enough of a value proposition there. You're much more comfortable spending $60 versus $70. It's a balanced transaction. Why
Really?
is Mario Kart World
That's arbitrary because it's a balance transaction again. That's because you've been paying it for the last 10 years. All right? I said prices change between the 64 generation and the things generation. There were Dreamcast games that was $80. I know because I bought them. But whatever.
$20 more than its predecessor? And what kind of implications are being put on the marketplace as a whole? Will the next World of Warcraft expansion bump up to $80? Will the next Call of Duty be $99?
Well, hell, like, why not? It has 200 gigabytes of freaking download. Fucking why not? Shit. that by itself made me don't want to buy the damn game. Okay, I'll go up to 630. Yeah, so don't really care. Okay.
Has been talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 with the fear it will set a precedent for
100.
games to be priced higher.
100, yeah.
Nintendo just kicked in the door. $80 for Mario Kart just sent a shockwave across the entire world that all video games can be priced higher.
Yes.
And if people buy this, it will confirm this precedent. Now, I'd like to address a series of arguments I've seen floating around the
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. And that's what you just said, yes. I mean, a lot of people were paying $12 for bacon, ham, and all kind of shit just few years ago. And some of those prices have stuck. It sucks. And that's what's going on. We live in a world where we got to do certain things. It's shitty. That's why I make my own bread. I grind my own flour. I make my own pasta, God willing. I'll try to make my own pasta. All right? I go to a farm that has fresh eggs, so the eggs are cheaper. When eggs was $10 and stuff like that, I was getting pasture fed eggs for $4 a dozen. I'm cool with that.
internet about this price increase because there have been a series of terrible arguments that just defends Nintendo at a time where all of this is corporate greed. Everything we've discussed so far is just corporate greed on full display. Number one, games were more expensive in the 90s, so they're okay to raise the price.
I figured he would say that. Things have changed from since the 90s. Things have changed from since last decade. You think he was going to say the same? I didn't. I stated this. 2014. You can go back to my earliest video game diaries I did back in 2014 when I started this channel. I said, you guys ain't gonna like it. It's gonna start getting like $90, $100, but y'all thinking, oh, they're gonna do that. Okay. 10 years later, ta-da! Like is proven right again.
Now. No, it's not okay right now. This photo and many like it keep floating around Twitter, saying that games were so much more expensive in the 90s and that we should just shut up and pay what we have to now. But the circumstances then were extraordinarily different. Firstly, that $80 plus got you a physical game with a physical
No shit, Sherlock.
chip inside and
no shit
in the box and manuals. There was a Firstly, that $80 plus got you a physical game with a physical chip inside and the box and manuals.
That is true. And who did did not have manuals? We could have fallen back against the manual thing in the Wii age. which Nintendo Wii still kept it going. And there were some manuals in the Wii, well, not a lot, but I'll give you that. But in the Wii generation, we had a lot more manuals than then. But what? Oh, wait. Gamers again said, piss it away, sir. They piss it away.
Was a full package there. The physical
Correct.
production costs around these games were significantly more impactful at the time.
And they are now as well.
It was more expensive to make an N64 game than it is to make a Blu-ray disc today. So production is
Exactly. And now that we don't buy a lot of DVDs and we don't buy a lot of physical media as human beings in America, stuff has gone up. Who knew? Who flipping knew? Surprise. And Nintendo with the Switch went back to cartridges while everybody was sticking with disc. And disc loaded, and the cartridges loaded more faster than the disc. You didn't have to read it to the, like the reading mechanism. It was more small fractures, so you don't have to worry about it breaking or getting destroyed, which I liked. But did Sony went to make a cartridge? No. Did Microsoft went to make a cartridge? No. Did Steam? No. We all go digital. That's what it is. So because only one company is making a physical game that they have to buy from some places to make that content, it's a little bit more expensive. They give them the best deal they can at whatever deal they can do it right there in the bulk stock. If Sony, Microsoft was doing cartridges like the Nintendo Switch, then your argument, you're 100% correct. But since we're not, and that's one of the reasons why in Generation 5 and Generation 6, in Generation 6 and Generation 7, that's why, because everybody was doing CDs. The Wii, PlayStation, and Xbox was PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. They was doing CDs. Everybody was doing that. So it was easy to find a bulk manufacturer to do that compared to now. Can you believe what Liger just said? Figure that out. And now we don't do that no more.
not the issue. Also, the development teams were smaller, the industry was smaller.
The development team was smaller. So the cost of doing some of these games was intensive. But they didn't have a bigger scope. Now you got games with way bigger scope than before. And the teams are bigger. You gotta pay them. And so that goes against your argument, sir.
It was harder to break even. The buyer's market was ridiculously smaller compared
I'll rewind back a little bit to get a full of that one.
to today. None of that is applicable. Far is just corporate greed on at the time. It was more expensive to make an N64 game than it is to make a Blu-ray disc today. So production is not the issue. Also, the development teams were smaller, the industry was smaller, it was harder to break even. The buyer's market was ridiculously smaller compared to today. None of that is applicable right now. The video game industry is bigger than Hollywood and the American music industry combined. Games are accessible because there is a Switch console in every one out of 3 houses in the United States. That's
not true. 1 in 3. Let me do a little math here for a second. Let me see. What is a third of? Let's go for 350. Let's go with 350. $116 million. 116 million, and worldwide it's sold 150 million. Well, again, that's a lie. The math ain't mathing on that one. 116 million is what will be that. Ain't 1/3 of a whole household. No, it ain't. And people will say, "Oh well, household stuff." Then you got like let's look at my sister and me. We count as a household. She has 2 switches. I have 3. The same. One person has, and is most of these are multi-family who has the switch. The same families that you just said that they ain't gonna do this stuff have switches. So again, it's not really 1/3. It's not really 1/3. But again, I'm just being a pain in the ass, a dick. I'm an asshole. So sorry.
How much the Switch has penetrated the US market? 1 in 3. There's no reason to compare today's prices to the 90s, when the industry was just getting into the deep end of the pool. Number 2, it's inflation. No, it's not. And this is one of the most annoying points that people keep making, that game prices are going up because of inflation. Well, if you go by those numbers that keep floating around, games should be something like $130 if you were going by the inflation numbers, right? Well, let me...
You know what? Let me finish your argument. Sorry.
Out of 3 houses in the United States. That's how much the Switch has penetrated the US market. 1 in 3. There's no reason to compare today's prices to the 90s, when the industry was just getting into the deep end of the pool. Number 2, it's inflation. No, it's not. And this is one of the most annoying points that people keep making, that game prices are going up because of inflation. Well, if you go by those numbers that keep floating around, games should be something like $130 if you were going by the inflation numbers, right? Well, let me ask you this. Would you pay $130 for video games? Not one specific, not just one type of game.
Do you understand how inflation works, sir? Do you understand how inflation works? It's the buying power of what you had back in the past. So it's a one-to-one buying power of what you are making. That's how the frig it works. Econ 101, I swear these people don't. Holy shit. This is why what I was trying to use to understand, to tell people about tariffs and all this stuff. I was like, why would I say anything? Because they won't get it. Whatever. Inflation affects a lot of shit, sir. It does.
Would you pay $130 market price for games? The answer should be overwhelmingly no.
The answer should be overwhelmingly no. But at the buying time and then back in the 90s when that was the modern case, we did. The answer is we did. That was the number price. We did, sir. Ain't like, oh, well, people didn't buy the games. They had a market crash in the 90s. We did. It was a resurgence in the 90s. What the?
So inflation is not true because it's not true to the actual inflation rate. And more importantly, value proposition and willingness to pay. Inflation rate is just a number. Has the value of the games increased? Are you getting more game for your buck now? No?
Yeah.
I certainly don't think so. Especially...
Yeah, we are. And yes, we are. Yes, we are. I like Mario. I like Mario 64. I like Mario. I like Metroid, Super Metroid. But Prime is way different than Metroid. That, if I was to be honest to you, Dread would be more of a comparison to Prime, and it was less than at $60. But again, buying power at the time is different than the buying power of now. That's inflation. So what you take it as is. Okay. But we are. I'm getting Sweden 1 and 2 for again less money than what it is, but again, taking that same money and buying power added 2 games, it will be that. We got lucky. And I take the blessings that we got lucky in that. But we're getting 2 games in one sometimes. We're getting collections of games. Now, I don't like that Final Fantasy got split up into 3 different freaking things. I'll Final Fantasy 7, I give you that one. That's asinine to me. But whatever. People bought it. That's good. I'm not buying it. Street Fighter been doing what they've been doing all the time, so that ain't changed. And people been buying it. So there you go. Yes, Zelda Breath of the Wild is different from Zelda, the original Zelda. It's way different, sir. The physics engine is way different. The graphics is way different. Weather effects, all that takes a very lot of computing power compared to the NES and, excuse me, Super NES. When it rained in Ocarina of Time, and when it rained in Zelda Links to the Past, it didn't really have no effect. But it has an effect in Breath of the Wild and in Tears of the Kingdom.
From Nintendo. All of these games are the same thing over and over. That doesn't mean it's
Okay.
bad. It means it's the exact same thing with a fresh coat of yellow paint, which
All right.
means the value of the item hasn't increased.
Okay.
Okay. Then
Okay, then tell that to the. Okay, don't buy the game now, and then when later on the game gets expensive, you tell me oh shit, that game got expensive because of stuff. It was because it was not valued, as you said.
willingness to pay. Are you willing to pay more money for these things? Because that trumps inflation 10 times out of 10. If they put Knack 3 up there for $130, what is your willingness to pay for that?
I won't. I would not. If they put Project Crosszone 3 for $80, it was it was $50, whatever, but said it was Project Crosszone 3 for $70. I'm not lying with you. I'll buy it. If it's the same pedigree and the same style, I would buy it. Give you like a good bump up there, as you said. I will buy it. And they do Power Stone 3 and it was $90, like how it was in the past, like you just said, $90 or $100. I would consider buying it. I'm not gonna say I won't, but I would consider buying it because I like Power Stone 1 and 2. But thank God we're getting a collection of games and Capcom working on it. But again, I would consider buying it. I won't lie to you. If it's at the same degree and ain't got no F up stuff and no, stuff like that, yeah, I would. So, just saying.
0%. It better be 0%.
No, it ain't.
Same thing. Inflation could say that games should cost over $100, but if the market isn't willing to pay that price, the price comes down to match what buyers are willing to spend. That's part of the free market speaking.
I got you. But then when companies start losing money when they put a lot of money into games, some need to shut down. I'm not gonna deny that. Some put in money to the games, give you the features that some of y'all bitched and moaned and wanted, and then y'all don't buy it, then they go kaputzi. Some need to get shut down, some did not need to get shut down. Again, example would be Tengu Games. They gave you that game, I forgot what the game was with the guitar. Everybody said it was a great game. But because a lot of people, they went out there and buy it and have fun, and even though they talk all that mess, it got shut. Microsoft shut it down, didn't it? I wonder why.
Number 3, it's more expensive to make games now. Not
Yes.
really. No.
Yes, it
not
is.
for Nintendo, anyway.
Yes, it
Most
is.
Nintendo games cost around $50 million to develop. Some
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Some of that's a high average. Most Nintendo's is lower. To be honest with you, since I went to Nintendo's thing back in 2015 and see how the hot dog got made, but yeah, no, but still. But here's another thing too that you don't understand. as you said, it goes back to what you said. Nintendo don't have like a Ubisoft and the big studios there, whatever. Like I said, I got to see how they make the sausage personally. I went to Nintendo Tokyo office in 2015. I saw when they were making Zelda. That's why I was kind of pissed off at Nintendo. Again, Nintendo's not perfect. I was pissed off at Nintendo. They took away the damn second screen for the Wii U. I bought Breath of the Wild on the Wii U and I had fun on the Wii U. And I wish they had put that second screen and map right there on the screen. You sons of bitches. You, and they could have put in the daggone remote control for Twilight Princess, but again, for dumbass reasons. I ain't bought the game. Somebody gifted that game to me, but I ain't bought the game. I didn't buy Twilight Princess HD. Still in its plastic. Still never been open.
Would be more than that, like
For
the
the Wii U,
Legend
I
of
mean.
Zelda games, but Mario Tennis, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, even the Mario Party games. These are not technical wonders here. These
I
are
give you that.
modest 50 million plus to develop, not $400 million like Red Dead.
Hold up. I want to go back again. He said something.
Really?
late.
No, not for Nintendo anyway. Most Nintendo games cost around $50 million to develop. Some would be more than that, like the Legend of Zelda games, but Mario Tennis, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, even the Mario Party games. These are not technical wonders here. These are modest 50 million plus to develop, not $400 million like Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, Red Dead 2 cost $400 million to make, and it is currently selling right now for $59.99. Nintendo doesn't have any games that rival that, and they're charging $20 more for Mario Kart World, which will not at all have the technical.
Oh, you don't think the next Red Dead was gonna go up? Even if Nintendo didn't raise the prices, they were gonna raise it. Stop the bullshit, because again, Rockstar did that. They try to do $100 Grand Theft Auto right now. So stop it. Stop it.
Features of Red Dead 2. Many of you forget Nintendo makes billions of dollars every year. Billions with a capital B. They
Yes,
are
do.
the juggernaut in the games marketplace, and
True
their
that.
game development costs are nothing next to almost every other company. The
No, because they do something like other companies don't do. They put out more games than any other company. That's where the difference is, my friend. They put out more games per year than most gaming company. Because they gotta support their own shit. Some of them are games that are crappy and small, like you said, a 1-2 switch. We want everything or something like that. And some of them is a Zelda, a Mario, or Astral Chain and stuff. Well, Astral Chain was platinum, but you know, I'm trying to say like that. But they put out more games per year than any other company. Point blank, period. Again, that's why the first year of the Switch, they dropped 9 exclusive. Second, I'll say 8. One being second party, of course, given that being that it was Mario Rabbids, but they used Nintendo stuff, and it was only gonna be on the Nintendo console anyway. But yeah, and all of them sold 1 million within that year. Miracle how that works. What other consoles did that? Were they exclusive? None. Not a PlayStation, not an Xbox, not a one.
$80 games are entirely greed. Number 4, it's the Trump tariffs that raise the price. That's not true at all.
No.
That's not true at all, and it was confirmed today by
Yeah,
Doug
by
Bowser
Bowser.
himself.
Yeah.
The prices
Yeah.
for these systems
Yeah, that's not true at all. Yeah, but that's how Nintendo makes a lot of their money anyway. It is because of the yen being weak and the yen being weak, while American dollar or the pounds being more money. Nintendo makes more money outside of Japan and in Japan. Point taken. I've talked about that. Literally, I've showed you that with their when I do the roundup, which I'm gonna do this year. I am gonna do the yearly roundup for the financial services. There's a lot of people who take that and just don't know what the hell they're looking at. So, and say stupid shit. But yeah, I'll do that this year. I used to do it all the time for a while, but I'm gonna do it this year.
and games were raised before the tariffs were put in place. The tariffs are still very much up in the air. We do not know how everything is going to be ironed out or how it will impact us. Number 5 is a response to a comment I got on my last video. Quote, "I'm not poor or cheap. I don't care how much it costs." Buddy, you are a moron. I'm not cheap or poor. No, you're an asshole. Just because you got it figured out and money is no object to you doesn't mean the entire gaming hobby should go belly up, okay? Not everyone's got.
But sir, you just said you want you Nintendo's doing this is gonna make the thing go belly up, and you said to not support Nintendo. And if Nintendo goes out of the industry, which will happen eventually, nothing lasts forever. Is the industry gonna survive? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I know I'm not gonna be buying games if Nintendo bows out. And I'll say this: if Nintendo goes fully digital, I'm buying literally just like a Mario and a Zelda, whatever. And I know I'm gonna not lose that. That if I have to be honest with you, just being straight up honest with anybody. A Mario, a Zelda, a Metroid. If they keep on making those games and it's fully digital, I'll hate it. I'll definitely hate it. But after that, I am gonna buy any third-party games out there that I was looking for, whatever. Nope, I'll stick to my Switch 2, Switch 1 libraries, Wii U. I'm not defeating all the games on my Wii U. I'm not defeating all the games on my Wii. I'm not defeating all the games on my GameCube. So I got a backlog that's gonna last me for 40 years of my life. I'm 40 right now. The rest 40 years of my life, so I'm good. Lucario, not pronouncing your name right, but he commented in one of my videos and he's like, I'm still playing Super Nintendo and GameCube games right here and enjoying it. Brother, live your life. Exactly. He's doing that. He ain't got a Switch 1. No, he ain't gonna get a Switch 2. That's good. He sees the value in what he's buying and he's enjoying it. Right now, ain't you guys are saying people pay more retro games than new games now because it's boring? Is game boring? Is game more broken games? It's not worth it? Huh? What a wonderful world we live that we can have options to choose. Again, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Mommy and daddy's trust fund. Lots of us out here need to work extremely hard to rub two nickels together.
Yeah, and if you can't save your money, I'm not trying to downrate you, but here's the thing. When I was, that's what a video coming up this Friday is going to talk about. When I was poor, I had about 10 GameCube games. Some of them got stolen, some of them got stolen. I'm not going to lie with you. I have about 15 to on the GameCube. Also, give me a second. I have 15 games on Dreamcast. Maybe about 10 to 15 on maybe about 10 games for 64. And that's what I had. But 3DS is my second. 3D, DS to 3DS because it's combined together. That's my biggest game. That's my second largest gaming library. My third biggest library will be the Wii. So it'll be the Wii, 3DS, DS, Switch. Right behind that will be the Wii U. Being the fourth. I mean, yeah. But the Switch has the biggest library in my game or whatever, because I look at games that I buy. My point is, when I was poor and I was struggling to make some money. Sorry. The pollen in my area is just bad. I did as a customer find games that I really wanted. I had to skip games I didn't like. Or some games that I really liked, but I was like, I'll wait for Metroid Prime 2. I'm not gonna buy XSS Tricky 2. Tricky 1 was good and I liked it. Should I get 2? Oh, they change up some things? Oh, I ain't gonna I don't need that. I'm alright. I don't want that. Oh man, Mortal Kombat, blah, blah, blah.
Not wanting to spend $80 on a video game doesn't make you poor or cheap in theory, though you'd become poor.
No, it makes you privileged. And we can't become poor if you let your hobbies rule your life. You can't become poor, you do that, and you become privileged. And you're privileged people to have the choice to buy these things. Again, 99% of people in the world cannot buy video games. You have access to something that's very rare. And you have a choice to buy it or not buy it. So don't buy it. Again, don't buy it.
From buying all these overpriced games. Number 6. Who cares? It's just Mario Kart that's more money. We kind of addressed this earlier. This is a foolish point because you're letting them off the hook. This company here is trying to screw us all over, and we could...
How are they screwing us over if you don't have to buy it? I don't get that. That's the major point. He's never answered none of this question. You don't have to buy it. Don't buy it.
blindly go along with it, or stand our ground and probably don't buy it. It's Mario Kart today that's charging.
Good. Then don't buy it. Exactly. Thank you. You're agreeing with me. You're agreeing with me.
$80. But tomorrow, it's the next Call of Duty. It's the next Bethesda title. Game
Don't
Pass
care.
goes up. PlayStation Network goes up.
Yep.
Steam games go up too.
They've been going up. They've been going up. So Nintendo wasn't the catalyst for this. They were like the last boss of holding the reins back, but they're like, fuck it, everybody else around us is doing it. Shit, why not we do it? They've been going up. So don't twist it. Twist that word a little bit different, sir.
Mario Kart's pricing will ripple across the entire industry. And that's only if people gobble this up. Getting to the end here, there are some outstanding miscellaneous points that I want to tie up. Firstly, and connecting to something I said earlier, I believe this GameCube emulator, which is paywalled behind both a Switch 2 and an NSO subscription, is software that could have been released years ago. I believe that they've had this
Whoopee. They had it. Back from the Wii, they had it. Back from the Wii U, they could have done it. But you know what? They didn't. That's their opportunity. That's their thing. That's how they do it. Unless you had a GameCube, which I do, and you had a... Apologize, but I try to keep a lot of my coughs out of the video, but y'all won't call me off guard. But unless you bought a GameCube, which I had, well, again, I didn't buy a GameCube, but I got a GameCube. The Wii is also a GameCube. Me and my sister have a Wii. Both of us have a Wii. So we have three GameCubes.
And they were specifically holding this to put it behind the Switch 2 as a way to increase the value of the Switch 2.
Really? Really? I'll tell you this right now, homie. No. But if that's what you want, if you think that's a value for you, you go ahead. I don't think the GameCube is a value like that to me because I have a GameCube that still works. I can play the game. Literally, I will still play Tales of Symphonia, which is a game that's very dear to me. I did not bought the Tales of Symphonia for the Switch. Why? Because it was broken garbage, and I ain't pay that. So you know what I got? Lucky for me, I got the Player's Choice, and I have the additional game, the original game that I bought. Both games, Dave, with the 2 discs. People are like, oh, it's 2 discs, whatever. Final Fantasy has the multiple discs as well, too. There's other games on PlayStation 2 that have multiple games, so shut that fuck with that. But I'm still going to play that game on the GameCube. Why? Because that was a better experience. Again, I feel stupid for buying Quarter Princess, but I bought it, and it is what it is. But I will play Quarter Princess on what? The 3DS or the DS. Which one? Was it 3DS? Or 3DS? Why? That was the better experience.
Meaning, this is supposed to help sweeten the deal. Instead
Not
of releasing the software however long ago, now it's an incentive to buy this new console. I don't like that. That feels like dirty sales. It's like buying a car and they put the $300 floor mats in the car you're buying. Like I should be able to get that on my own terms, in my own way. Next, the price of the welcome tour. The tech demo explaining how to use the console is paywalled.
I will give you that. I agree again with you on that. That is something Nintendo should never charge for. That's stupid. And here's the answer to that question. Liger, are you gonna buy that? No. Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't bother you then. Exactly.
This game doesn't even look good. This looks boring and nothing like Astro's Playroom. And the fact that it's going to cost a confirmed $10 is just absurd. You mean I need to buy a $500 console and then pay more money to get the tech demo explaining how the console works? What kind of corporatist nonsense is that? And furthering that, this entire thing is corporate greed from top to bottom. Nintendo is not a poor company. They make billions every year. And I'm thinking of all the parents and grandmothers who go to buy their kids and grandkids games only to find that there are some games for $60 and some for $80. Do they know what the differences are? This script is almost 8 pages long, and I can't even explain what all the differences are. So yeah, most people will continue with the Switch 1 versions of games because they don't know any different. Which leads to the business equation, though. When you put the price tag up to $80, yeah, some people will buy it. Some people will buy every title Nintendo releases regardless of the price. But when games were at $60, you might have had 3 people buy it on one day in a Target. Well, 60 times 3 is $180 in sales. And now at a price point of $80, maybe only one of those people buy that game. Which means you get one sale for $80. That's $100 loss and 2 less customers.
That's not true.
Nintendo, in their avarice, is killing.
That's not true. I can guarantee you the Switch is going to sell like he said. Rewind. Did he not say the Mario Kart Buzz is going to sell out first? So if you're going to sell out first, how is that? A major Nintendo game comes out, trust me, it will sell. If they do a Xenoblade Chronicles X2, it will sell out. If they do a Xenoblade 4, it will sell out. Animal Crossing, it will sell out. So no, your analogy is not correct. Maybe the less Nintendo games if they did a Smash, it will sell out.
Their sales volume. Now, if Nintendo wants to do that, fine. But you're going to see every company begin to charge more money for their games, and the exact same thing is going to happen. You're going to see sales volume decrease, and many companies are going to hurt from this. Lots of jobs will be lost, and if the industry collapses because of it, you might see, and hopefully...
Wasn't there a lot of people losing jobs before with broken games? You buy a game and the game is broken, that they shouldn't lose their job for that? I think they should.
We see a dawn of AA Renaissance games. In conclusion, I hope my words have landed with you at least a little bit. There are lots of factors here, and there are lots of variables we still don't know. But I want to encourage you to realize that this all ends when you say it ends. This is your marketplace. $80 games should be the cutoff point for us as customers. We should actively reject this. And
go right ahead.
It's easy. You just don't buy it. Don't buy the new system. Don't buy the new game.
You agree with me. If you don't like it, you don't buy it. Why is that so hard?
Games. I won't be. Nintendo has earned a spot on the list of companies I won't buy from anymore. Aren't you at least a little tired of mega corporations shoving us around? And we blindly slurp up the milkshake they keep serving, even though we know it's very bad for us.
I don't.
This is it.
Because I don't buy it. Because again, I made choices. I'm a customer. I don't do it. Nintendo, you're not going to buy. Okay, so you're going to buy it for Sony? Or you're going to emulate? Or you're going to just buy PC? And then when the PC games are broken, like how Monster Hunter came out on PC and it was broken, where you gonna go? Again, do you, my brother? Do you, Mr. Fake Wizard? Not against it. Do you? Oh crap! It went sideways. Dang it!
This is your moment to stand up for something. Damn it! When is enough for you? At what point?
This is not where I will bear. This is not a light I'll settle for. Whatever. That's the God that God gave me. Again, been doing this channel thing since 2014. Saying this is gonna happen, but it went on deaf ears for most people. So hey, whatever. Doesn't mean nothing to me. Don't care. I had people troll my channel back in the 2015s and 2015 and 16. Excuse me. And whatever. Yeah. My channel's dead. My channel's this, whatever. Bro, I don't do this for clout. I do this just to have a conversation with anybody out there. And I have conversations. So hey, some of them I have made friends with people. I have visited them, seen them, talked to them, high-fived them. We went out, we partied, we drank, we be merry. That's what it is. I don't do YouTube for making YouTube money. I don't. So, again, yeah.
Will you finally be forced to take a stand?
Let me back up on this.
Aren't you at least a little tired of mega corporations shoving us around? And we blindly slurp up the milkshake they keep serving, even though we know it's very bad for us. This is it. This is your moment to stand up for something, damn it. When is enough enough for you? At what point will you finally be forced to take a stand? When games are $150, is that it? Or we do something right now and hit them where it hurts. Their bottom line. Get them in the wallets. And it's happened before. The 3DS, the Wii U. It can happen again.
Oh, the 3DS. Okay. And then the Wii U. Yeah, that worked out pretty well, did it? That all y'all still wanted the damn Wii U games on your Switch. And I'd have been Nintendo spitefully not to put the games on there, but they had to make money, so they make the money. Whatever.
Screw Nintendo.
Okay.
And until next time, create, innovate, inspire, and for the love of God,
Really?
cancel Disney Plus.
For the love of God, shut the hell up. Some of the stuff is crazy. But again, I agree with him 1,000%. Don't buy the game. If you don't have the money, don't buy the console. If you think Nintendo's a sleazy bastards, don't buy the console. If you think the Switch 2 is overpriced, don't buy the console. If you think that the games are too expensive, don't buy the console. Because if you don't like it, you don't buy it. Simple. That's it, bro. Do that. Oh well, whatever. With that said, another long video in the book. 141 minutes for this guy. Good Lord. Anyway, I wish you all the best. Take my advice. Take his advice. Don't buy the game. Have fun with whatever you have. Keep the old Switch if you want to do that. There's so many things you can do. Be a customer, not a consumer. All right? If Nintendo falls off, hey, it is what it is. It sucks. But let's be honest. The gates was open before Nintendo. And because Nintendo joined the crowd now you want to bitch. Whatever. But that said, there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect for you. Simply enjoy games on all consoles, including PC. Peace out. Have a good day.